I just came back from a small vacation at home to the island of Naisara, and today I leave the island. It's already in the afternoon, but the wind is towards the mainland, and it will be a good chance to leave, to have an easy sail. We're going more or less downwind. The sail shape downwind is quite okay, and we can really see that we're moving. That feels great. We're doing about 4 knots now. The wind has a little bit became weaker. It was forecasted about 10 knots in the afternoon. Anyway, we're doing progress. So here I am, anchoring near the island of Pakri. There's actually 2 islands of Pakri, Big Pakri and Small Pakri. And the Small Pakri is actually bigger than the Big Pakri. But I cannot get to the shore without dinghy. Where I'm anchoring here, there is no rocks around, but closer to the shore there are rocks and rocks and rocks. And now when I have been sailing around here, it looks like the anchoring is not very popular thing in Estonia. It's mostly only the yachts that have dinghies that you can anchor and you can go to the shore. And of course on powerboats people go to the shore, and I tried to find out on which place they are beaching, but that was on the lee shore, and the waves were pretty big, so it was not reasonable. But I have been on this island, and it's too big to go on foot. Last time we were on bicycles. But anyway, I visited and I saw what it is, and now I can continue my journey. So it's dinner time now, and this is my improvised galley. So there is a gas cooker, that I'm using. And I have a set of hiking pots and pans. And now this smaller pan is just the proper size. And for dinner we have soup today. But for the soup we also need some water. And water we're storing under the floor. We have to make a mix 1-to-1, so it's about 1 cup of water and half of the soup can, and this is just about the size for me. And when the soup is ready, it's time to eat. This is my version of the paradox table. It's held in place by bilge pump handle. I lift it up and hang it here, and I can adjust if I need when the boat is heeled. So here we are. meal cooked by yourself. Isn't that tasty? The ones that are not familiar with the Paradox boat steering goes from these lines, and these lines they move the rudder tiller, and this is how we steer. And a little bit about my Paradox's electrical system. I've got a fish finder, depth finder. This is the solar battery controller, and there is a switchboard. A switchboard which has also two USB ports and one socket, 12-volt socket. And the switches are for lights. I have lights in back compartment. You cannot see it. In the main saloon, and all the lights I have made from LED strips, which I have put into a plastic hose and sealed with silicone from both ends. And this was because I liked this light the most, and also it was cheap. The same I have in the forward compartments. There's one for the from the section behind forepeak, and another option is both, that lights forepeak and the compartment behind the forepeak. I also store some stuff here, but the most interesting will be the battery, I think. It's in the compartment behind the forepeak, and there is a battery here, and it's lashed down with some lines, and also the lines are fastened or stretched with another line. This is a technology that Waram catamarans use for lashing their beams. And here is the mast, and the mast, down the mast there is the lightning wire connected here, and the lightning wire comes up here, and this copper plate that is under the bottom, a piece of it comes up here, and these are connected. And here's the mast light connection, but this one I have to improve a little bit. I have a handheld VHF on board, and this one I can charge from this 12-volt socket. Or another option is there's another back panel where you can put batteries, 5 pieces of AA batteries. And for the phones, when the charge of the battery is low, I sometimes use a Makita battery with an adapter with 2 USB ports. And I have 2 of these batteries, and sometimes I use these. I used to have a compass also, which needed power, but now I changed, and this is another type. It has its own small battery inside. The other one, the display was a little bit tilted, and I didn't trust it how long it will last, so I bought a new one. And for this one I bought also another holder, so I can also put it here if I want. So I can see it very closely. Outside I've got 2 solar panels. One is on the forward deck and one is on the cabin top, and in the hatch there is an acrylic glass, so if I open the hatch fully, then the battery or the solar panel is exposed, and it seems to work fine like that. Another modification that I have made this year is that I have put 2-to-1 pulley system for halyard, and that's because my friends told me that it was too hard to pull it up. On the yard I have put this again. I have lashed the radar detector. I don't know how well it works, but at least it's there. It should work somewhat. And the flag is on one of the buttons. And this is the phone mount. It's made of GoPro fittings and one phone holder from a cheap Chinese tripod. And now I normally use marine and lake software, and everything is doubled. I'm now shooting with one phone, and another one is for using when I navigate. When I stay at anchor, I use anchor software to check that the anchor is not slipping. And yesterday, when the anchor got caught between two big rocks, it was first slipping for 70-80 meters, and I was already panicking and thinking how I get the anchor out fast and get the boat away from the rocks that were waiting ahead. But luckily that was not necessary. One cool thing that I have found for the boat is this mirror, and it's a foldable mirror, and when I fold it, it fits exactly on top of my boat hook. And I carry a boat hook on board, and it fits exactly here diagonally, and also a paddle for just in case. Also pay attention to the hatch. When the hatch is open, there is space between the gasket and the frame, and when you close it, it gets closer and closer until when it's nearly closed, the seal touches the wooden frame and it is sealed. Now it's watertight. And when we open that, we get it up here. And that's the frame and also the hatch are both a little bit tapered, and this is how it works. For those that are not familiar with Paradox, there's a step under the rudder, so you need to climb on board. You put one foot on the step and you get easily on board. Here's my anchor setup. I have made a cutout in one of the bulkheads here, and the anchor is laying here. It's easily accessible. All the line is not on the bottom of the boat, but there is a water container where the top is cut off, so if the line is wet, the water will not go in the bilge. And the seat is also foldable. I have put some Velcro here because a couple of times it slipped away and was a little bit uncomfortable. So when I read the book, I just put it like that, and then I put my sleeping mats here. Like so, and it's a comfortable way to read. And when I go to sleep, then I lift it up even more, so it stays like that. And this way there's enough space for me to sleep, to lay the mats down, two of them on top of each other, that it is more soft. And once ready to sleep, I lay down the mats, take out the sleeping bag, and we're ready to go to sleep. Voila! Good night, ladies and gentlemen.